same people. These same people are the ones he talked to when he wanted my services. When he wanted me to mobilize the mountain people, when he wanted to take advantage of my oratory skills to mobilize people-based issues. Yet, when I say don't demolish, houses for innocent people, he says I'm fighting his government. Yet, this is for him everywhere. Then the mountain people are looking at him and saying, is this the same man? It's incompetent. Our son, Justin Muturi, is incompetent. Our son, Moses Kuria, is corrupt. Our son, Metheka Linturi, is corrupt. Mr. President, I have no capacity to advise you. Nobody can fool the mountain people twice. You fooled them once, they feel very sorry about it. They actually feel very low and very down. I want to assure you, your tricks are now known. Your games are known. You will never again in your lifetime make the people of the mountain fight their son or their daughter. They will never do it. You made us hate Uhuru Kenyatta.
Okay.
You made us humiliate him. You told us bad things about him that were not true. You said he was incompetent. You are the one who is incompetent now. It is very clear for everybody. Everybody is incompetent except you. Even now you are saying your new Mr. Yesa is very competent. You are the only one who is competent. Everybody else who disagrees with you, everybody else who has a problem with your modus operandi, everybody else who has a problem, you are the only competent person in this country.
So, and with all due respect, we'll treat what you've said earlier on as allegations because then substantiated them. I have to ask this because it's a multi-pronged question. When exactly did your friendship, your working relationship with President William Ruto start, and when did the rain start beating it?
Probably before we come to that, you say fight. I don't fight anybody. He says that I was fighting Farouk Kibet. Farouk Kibet is not a small man. He is a co-president in this country. Farouk Kibet runs the government. Everybody reports to him. The Inspector General of Police, the head of service, cabinet ministers. William Ruto issues instructions to cabinet ministers tremble at his very sight. So, and initially I thought it's okay, maybe that's how William Ruto wants us to work, until I learned that Farouk Kibet was collecting money from people to come and see me. And I have nothing to give them in return. And I went and I told the president, Mr. President, I'm your principal assistant. Please, your personal assistant cannot give me instructions. And if you give me instructions, You give them yourself and I obey them to the letter. But
Okay.
all the people Farouk Kibet is clearing to come and see you, he's collecting money. And there's hue and cry in town. And you state house is respected. It has become a center of corruption. All appointments of people coming to see you, Kibet is collecting money. And Mr. President, you need to get this. But if you want to continue with it, tell him to keep off my office. He is not going to make appointments in my office, and he cannot tell me whom to see.
So can you substantiate this? Kibet is not. You've said that he's the one.
But I'm saying, Rogers, the president said that I'm fighting with small people. The answer is Farouk Kibet is not a small person.
Fighting big people.
Fine. I was not fighting big people. I was telling the president, I'm elected. Going to take instruction from him to train. If you want him to practice corruption in your office, you can go ahead.
But you just said he was collecting money for
yes.
people to meet you.
Oh, I learned. Yes,
I
learned the people he has to see. I have voice in town. Going to see the deputy president. Farouk has collected money on his behalf and he is not doing anything for us. That is when I got alarmed. I faced Kibet and he told me off. He said, I must make money. Hii serikali tumetafuta, mimi nimeumia na William Ruto miaka mingi. And actually the president Farouk Kibet, he said, wewe achana na Farouk atafute pesa kidogo ya kukula bana. Hii mtu ameumia na mimi miaka mingi. Akipata hapa kidogo kidogo yuko makosa. So some men who would take off.
Okay.
When he see people, Itumbi. I don't know Itumbi, you can see the things he was writing about. Then Itumbi, the chief propagandist for William Ruto. Again, he's not a small man. This government of William Ruto is run by Itumbi and Farouk. This Itumbi, all these statements you see ministers issuing, like the one DCI has issued about the violence yesterday in Mweki. Dennis who crafts them. He crafts messages, and you can see even that is language. He gives them to read. And my problem with that so-called small men is that they work in court with the president. And he goes around State House. And if you have a discussion, Dennis walks into the president's office and says, Mr. President, you are late for the next meeting. And the president brings the meeting to a closure. I had not really, I studied, I saw the pattern. And anytime I had made, and I would win the argument, and he doesn't like it, and he would like to bring a meeting to a closure, somehow Dennis walks in. And I saw a pattern. So what we were launching was going to sign a law, bill into law. And I was with the president in his office, the two of us, and I had a very hot conversation with him. And I was telling Mr. President, enough housing, and people were unhappy with the session. And Mr. President, only a fool doesn't change his mind. Let us look this and this, from the feedback I'm getting from the ground. And Mr. President, I was elected with you. I mean, it's my job to tell you what the people are saying. And since we are elected together on a joint ticket, when I see we are going down and I don't tell you, it is not fair. Then when we were just continuing, I think he took a phone, Itumbi comes. And he said, Mr. President, we need to go. And I told Itumbi, my friend, next time you interrupt me when I'm with the president, you know who I am. Get off. I am the deputy president. I was elected with the president here. Who are you coming to interrupt our discussion? We are discussing. The president said, okay? So that is how I raised that issue. You know, and I told him, Mr. President, how do you get these people to come and interrupt a meeting with your deputy all the time? So that those are the issues we were saying.
Well noted.
I was fighting with small people.
Just to take you briefly, because we're stuck of time, how much did you fund President William Ruto's campaigns?
No, I will not go into that. It's not necessary. I don't think I need to go into the details because I was also a candidate.
Okay.
I did not necessarily fund William Ruto. I funded Spain, and I don't think I need to go into those details.
Then tell me this: when did the rain start in your exactly?
It's not shady, but the president was here many times, here in this house. Down. And my wife would pray for him. And we went on a journey from 2019 all the way to 2022. And I believed him and I trusted him. And since I'm a man of honor, I took his word for what it was. And we agreed many things, but we never wrote anything down. And that is a mistake that I made, that I regret. And my community, the Mount Kenya people, regret today, but they have forgiven me because William Ruto is very deceptive. To deceive Rigathi Gachagua is nothing because he deceived bishops, reverends, pastors, everybody, all of us, our whole community. A very respectable community were deceived by one man. So I fell for it and we agreed many things. And I went into it blindly. But as soon as we came in, the man changed completely. And all the things that agreed, he became very arrogant. He said he's president. He said that he'll do whatever he wants. And I can tell you where I started finding things are not right is we had agreed on several portfolios for my people because we had agreed, much as I'm a national leader and I'll be your deputy to assist you to manage the affairs of this country, I'll take the interests of the Kenya people in your government because they have elected you and they give you 47% of the vote. And it was agreeable. And all the things we had agreed in terms of portfolios, interior, agriculture, water, lands, finance, he honored all those things. Without any reference to them. And I realized he had conned me and the community.
So that's when,
Mr. President, why don't we retain several of them for continuity instead of bringing everybody who is new? He said, no, hiyo watu wa Kwende, hiyo ni watu ya Azimio na watu ya Uhuru.
But there were some PSs who were retained.
No, let me explain. Let me explain. That's where I am. He said, wa Kwende hiyo watu, sitaki kuwaona. We'll get our own people, they will learn on the job. I said, Mr. President, we are new. Me and you, we have just come. If we have new ministers, we have new PSs, the country must continue. Why, please, from my people, from my community, 6 people, I would like you to retain. And you can retain what? We worked on it, Dr. Tom. From my region, he retained one guy. called Hinga. You have started shortchanging me right in the beginning of our government. He told me, "We're very ready."
It was in 2022.
Yeah, 2022. That was the second month in government. So when I hear him talking about tribalism, that Rigathi Gachagua is tribal. When you know the appointed PSS from, there are more than 6. He talks tribalism. You know, I've heard him saying hatutaki ukabila. You know, hii Kenya ni yetu sisi wote. Sisi wanamunikanisha wote. Hii Kenya ni yote sisi. Status are from his community.
Okay.
That is where I just realized things are not what I thought they would be. And when I tried to talk to him, he was very abusive. And because I didn't want to have a fight with him. I just, you know, played along, and we just continued, you know. And then along the way, he started punishing people from my community. He wanted to get rid of the Commissioner General of KRI, Mr. Mburu. And I said, Mr. President, we agreed with you that one for one, and if you want to change Mburu because he was Mburu's, you replace him with somebody. He said, okay, let him go, replace him. When the replacement took me around, he gave it to somebody, you know, and like that. And then we went to Earth Water, he sacked somebody called Engineer Thoita.
Okay.
Like that, went to the sports fund, he removed somebody. We realized that he had, in a very calculated manner, having a purge on my people. And I started now fighting back. And I would face him, Mr. President. People from this region voted for you, 47%. You will not be president without their vote. They are asking me questions that I cannot answer. The issue of pending bills, 900 billion. People need to see. And when I saw him, I said, Mr. President, for us to improve circulation of money into the economy, why don't we make the payment of pending bills a priority? Sema hiyo watu ni watu ya uhuru bwana. Hiyo biashara walifanya kwa uhuru, watafute uhuru walipe. That was a government that was legal. It was not an illegal government, even if it was headed by Uhuru Kenyatta. The liabilities, money that we have borrowed from foreigners, we are paying, even if it was borrowed Uhuru's time. Even this money that our people have worked on, said, no, wacha tufanye mambo yetu bwana. And I just realized that the priority was to do new business so that people can have their cut. They didn't want to pay money for old business because they were part of it. You know, those are some of the issues that started giving.
Thanks for clarifying that, because people might wonder where exactly we started. But I have to be the devil's advocate here, Your Excellency, because at the end of the day, people associate you closely with the head of state, since you campaigned for him vehemently before the 2022 general election. And thereafter, that's when, you know, this working relationship was argued. To those who equate your complaints the same way as they equate those of a jilted lover, that since you face the axe, now it's obvious that you would rather of state.
I didn't start saying I have a problem with him when I was asked. I started saying before. You remember, on June 25, when policemen massacred our children, the president called a press conference and he did not invite me. The Gen Zs are criminals who are prisoners. The deputy president, I called a press conference in Mombasa. I told him off. I said, these are not criminals. This is my daughter. I've been jailed. I had no next office. I stood firm. And let me tell you, one of the issues agreed with the President William Ruto up to today, and I will never give in, was abductions and extrajudicial killings. I am a father. I am a Christian. I am a husband. I am a leader in my community. Children are our flowers. You cannot kill children because they're asking questions. And the questions they're asking are legit. We are running down the country. That there is too much corruption. That we are not listening to the people. Those young Gen Zs were raising legitimate issues that I had personally raised with the president.
Allow me to interject.
And I can tell you,
yeah.
After that, he accused me of having been behind the scenes. Okay. And I said I was not behind the Gen Z's protest, but he told me that I've started raising these issues because we disagreed because I left. You remember, there was accusation against me that I had opposed evictions of people. I raised that issue when I was deputy president.
True.
Disagreeing with the president a year ago. Our disagreement around October was the culmination the president and DEFCI to sell cement, to sell steel, to sell mabati. I stopped.
Well, not here.
No, I'm just saying. Okay. And I stopped defending it. Unless the I told him not. Because the model is not working, and it was very unpopular with the students and parents. I refused. So he wanted me to go and defend Adani, which is corruption. I refused to go and defend. He wanted me to go and defend Shah.
Okay.
And it's corruption. I refused.
But
you know,
my question,
I am saying.
Allow me to ask you.
Yes.
Because my question is centered on the 2023 Azimio protest. Did abductions start in 2024?
In 2024.
They started in 2024?
Yeah. The real abductions. And I can tell you.
There's no fake abductions.
No, I'm just telling you, when it became clear to me, is when 101 officers from the administration police, on the authority of the president, were transferred to the National Intelligence Service and given very extensive training, is when we started getting people complaining that people are disappearing. And I went into it, and I started seeing signs that are not good signs. And I faced the president more than 3 times, and he feigned ignorance. But when I came to check, I found he knew what is going on. These abductions were being done by the National Intelligence Service. And I had a problem with them because I am a very straightforward man. And I spoke very strongly in the National Security Council. And I said, Mr. President, let us not treat the symptoms, but diagnose the problem. These young people, we need to find out why they are complaining. Killing them, abducting them, is not a solution.
Hold on to your thoughts. We take a short commercial break. Do stay with us. The Wamunyoro bombshell continues in just but a few.